Have you ever given a class and the very thing that's in the purport is exactly what you don't do? Or you're sitting in class and you hear exactly what you don't do? Well, how do you deal with that? I mean, should you leave the class? Should you not give the class? Should you never give a class? Should you never teach people how to be Krishna conscious unless you can perfectly practice? Well, kind of seems like you should, but not really. There's a way around this, a way to understand this. So I've had this experience. You're given a verse, purport, and you're supposed to speak on it. And you may be doing the exact opposite thing that this verse is telling you to do. What's more painful than that? And then you're sitting up there like this big hypocrite telling everybody, don't eat too much when you always eat too much, or don't sleep too much when you always sleep too much. And then we're feeling like, well, if I can't set an example, maybe I shouldn't teach. Well, that's partially true, but it's not the way Prabhupada trained us. Prabhupada trained us, go out and preach and be an example. Now, my experience is that when you teach something on a subtle psychological level, you're telling yourself, I better follow this because I'm teaching it. So if you doubt that you can follow, or you doubt, not that you can follow, but if you, well, that there also, but if you doubt that you should be teaching because you don't follow, you will find that a lot of times teaching is what causes you to follow, because you think, well, I said it, I've told other people to do it, they're going to be looking at me. The second thing is, Prabhupada was looking at our sincerity. He wasn't judging us, neither was Krishna judging us on whether we're on level 10 when it comes to compassion, or level 8. Well, if you're on level 6, I don't think you should give class. What about integrity? What about forgiveness? What about humility? Oh, humility, you're doing really bad, so no class for you. No, Prabhupada didn't judge us that way. He judged us based on our willingness, because that's what Krishna judges us on our sincerity, on our mood, on our motive. So Prabhupada wasn't mental about our disqualification, like we're so mental sometimes about our disqualification, but he wasn't. He was just telling us, do this, do it sincerely, you'll become purified. This is how you make advancement. So yes, we don't want to be hypocrites. We don't want to not follow what we teach, but at the same time, we don't want to wait for the day to follow perfectly before we teach, because maybe that day will never come. And as I said, by teaching, we get better. We get better at following what we're teaching. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is what he taught, and this is what we did, and it works. The last thing I would say is, one of the most important things for a teacher is to follow what they teach. So if you're not following, then start following, because your words are not what really matters. It's your actions. They're much more powerful than your words. So yes, teaching is a great opportunity, because once we know that being an example is way more important than what we say, it becomes an impetus to be the example. And what more could you want than an impetus to be a good example?